Don't see a lot of photos or live, but that's okay. My name's Joel Kaplan. I see Danny. I'm the Associate Dean for Professional Graduate Programs at the Newhouse School. And this is our group that we would call the Entertainment Group. So we're going to have people from multimedia photography and design, and from television, radio, film, and from audio arts, and from media and education. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first half hour, and each of these programs are going to kind of talk about what they do from soup to nuts, from the beginning, the boot camp, to the end, the capstone. And then we're going to do breakouts. We're having a little problem with our Zoom breakouts, so we'll probably just end up giving you Zoom links to each of their rooms, and you'll be able to go that way. I'm here with Martha Correa, Martha Wave. Martha is Assistant Director of Professional Graduate Programs, and she and I will stay here in the main room when you go off to breakout. So if you have specific questions to come back, we'll wait around for a while. So let's get started. Bruce, first in, first out. So Bruce was the first one in here, and I'll let him talk about multimedia photography and design.
Well, welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. The great thing about Newhouse is that basically no matter what program you choose, you are going to have a terrific experience. And some of our programs are relatively close, so don't get too worked up if you're not exactly sure which one, because they're all fabulous. But our program, so our department is called Visual Communications, and the degree is called Multimedia Photography and Design, because we have all three areas. We have really the design component. If you're at all interested in everything from graphic design with print medium to UI UX design, like designing the interfaces on your phone or a computer, to motion graphics, the beginning of films or end of films, or telling stories through motion graphics, to immersive design. So there's virtual reality, and then there's augmented reality, where you add the IKEA ads where you can add a chair to a room or something like that to the digital world around it. Our design program is wide and allows you to explore a lot of different areas. So that's the design component of it. The photography component, we have really an advertising, commercial, entertainment end of it. And then we also have a more documentary photojournalism end. And the beauty of our program is that really you cross-train in both. We believe that as you get older and you mature and you go through your life, your interests will change. But also, even in this environment now in the industry, we see people who are, today they're shooting for the New York Times, tomorrow they're shooting for Nike, an advertisement down in Patagonia, and then the next week they might be working for a nonprofit organization. So our goal is to teach you how to work in each of those areas, and then you can pick what hat you need to wear, what business and ethics you need to abide by, depending on which area you're working on. So that's our photography area. And then our graphic design, we did graphic design. Our video end of it, multimedia, is really focused on video, and we have a lot of really great students coming out where, video is really a video camera is really a still camera that shoots 30 frames a second. So we teach you how to see the frame, how to light, how to work with color, and then understand story in that context. So you're both with the visual photography side as well as the video side. And our students have come out. We had one master's student who won a New York Emmy 2 years ago up against NBC and everybody else for her master's project. We've had a photography student that same day that they defended their master's project, he won a Pulitzer Prize. No, actually a week later, he won a Pulitzer Prize. She won an Emmy a week after that. And they're just, each of the programs, we tend to think of ourselves and try to strive to be not proficient, but excellent at it. So our graduates have gone on to work. We have 6 people at National Geographic right now. We have people in production houses on the film side, out shooting films. One of our grads on the film side, she after graduating, her master's project won the Charleston International Film Festival. 750 films submitted. She got chosen best film. And then from there, she got the first Audi Fellowship for female film directors. They gave her $250,000 to go to AFI for another year to get her. And now she's out in Hollywood directing films. So anyway, there's the film side, the photography side, and the design side. If you come into breakout room, I'll describe whichever area you're interested in and talk more about it. But I think I'm close to using up all of my 5 minutes here. So we also have a lot of workshops, a lot of alums. We bring in a lot of professionals to work with the students side by side during the course of the year. And I'm just really proud of what our students produce, and I'll tell you all about it if you come to the breakout room.
And Bruce, you
And
should be proud. You should be proud. You got some great students there. Appreciate that. And we got our breakouts back, by the way, so that should be no problem. We'll segue over to Michael Schoonmaker, Professor Schoonmaker, the only program director who has been there longer than I have as associate dean, and he's been running television, radio, and film most of the time. Our largest program for all that time. So, Michael.
Television, radio, film is the largest, not because it's one thing. It's actually a collection of many smaller communities and interests working together. So the idea that it's the largest, you have to understand it in that way. We tried it in television, radio, film. That's a mouthful. That's a whole lot of stuff. It's an impossibly large amount of stuff to do, but we try to do it anyway. We tried to build a world that looks like the entertainment industries of television, radio, film, music, those things that kind of operate out there in the world. And we try to recreate it with classes, cultures, people, and encourage the people in television, radio, film to collaborate together to get their things done. You can be a writer, you write the stuff, but someone else produces it. You can be a producer, someone else writes the stuff and edits it. So it's a collaborative replication of how we try to recreate what the entertainment industry looks like, how it operates, how people build and create based on relationships. And that's kind of the way we run the one-year program, from boot camp to the end, to capstone, we call it, the ultimate summit, I guess. Our summit's a little different than Bruce's, what the students do in there. Ours is more, our end game is placing you and being with you as you enter into the industry. So it's a practicum. So at the beginning in boot camp, we do our best to survey the entertainment media spectrum, what it's involved in all aspects. We assume that people who come into television, radio, film will be aided by understanding everything from the business to the production to the screenwriting, and how all that works together. And then spending half of your degree choosing a very customized, specific approach. So about half the degree is devoted to a survey of the entertainment industry, how it works, and giving you the building blocks to do what you need to do, fundamentals. And then the other half of it, 15 credits of your choice in getting to the particular area you're interested in. People in television, radio, film, master's program end up being screenwriters, producers. Well, I'll talk about outcomes later, right, Joel? You said you want outcomes later?
You can go ahead now if you'd like.
All right, so people who come in to TRF end up going out and becoming screenwriters, producers, directors, studio executives, entrepreneurs, agents, development executives, editors, sound designers and mixers, network executives, production designers, visual effects artists, artist management, voiceover artists, production managers, sports directors and producers. So it isn't this place where you go in, necessarily think of, I'm going in to do one thing. You're going to get a very big experience and a great opportunity to explore and find what you want in this journey, this exploration into the world of entertainment media, and go out toward what you want. But we do expect that there's a lot you want to learn and can learn, and we'll provide the largest forum for that. As compared to the other three majors that are here, TRF is more general in approach and more open to everything so that you can figure it out and then find your thing. And the other three areas are definitely built for those who have an idea on what their commitments are already and they really want to invest in them. But in TRF, we give the opportunity to explore everything.
Thanks a lot, Michael. That's very helpful. And our next two programs we're going to talk about are actually joint programs with other schools and colleges at Syracuse University. I'll start with media and education and Dr. Jeffrey Mangrum, who is a professor in the School of Education. And media and education, you spend half your coursework in the School of Education and half your coursework at the Newhouse School, primarily with television, radio, film. So, Jeff?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Syracuse University. Again, I am in the School of Education. Michael Schoonmaker, who runs the TRF program, is the co-director of Media and Education. And our point is we've made this interdisciplinary foci where all of a sudden now we come and meet at the center, and we're trying to begin exploring how can we bring these two supposedly disparate disciplines together. And that's what we try to do in media and education. By that, we look at production and we learn the production capacities, and we look at how do we use those production capacities in different educative ways with a focus on using those kind of production capacities to educate in a variety of manner. From dealing with pre-K education to we've had students do museum work around how do you use these kind of media capacities to help young people navigate museums. To I talked with a student today who's interested in creating curriculum that deals with anti-Semitism, and how do we use these kind of production capacities to educate in different venues. We're starting to realize now that businesses are starting to come to us and ask that question. The online world that we now find ourselves in, that's just been accelerated because of the COVID virus. We're starting to look at how do we use Zoom, these technologies, in new ways to educate not only young people, but businesses and adults all over the world. And so the focus in the media education is a capstone presentation. Michael alluded to it. We want you to come in just a little bit knowing what you want to do. So for example, this young woman I spoke to today, she's interested in looking at how do we begin engaging curriculum that pushes back against anti-Semitism. So I would have her come in and we're going to take courses around production, but also courses around and research around how do we look at oppressive ideas? How do we look at, how do you analyze, engage those ideas? How do you uneducate people in how to think about those things? In her capstone, she would have to talk about the literature that she reviewed. She's got to figure out what platform she may use to unveil this new curriculum. Is it going to be an app? Is it going to be standard traditional pen and paper? What is the kind of platform to get at some of these ideas that she wants to educate around this thing called anti-Semitism? And so we do that with, we had one young person who's interested in food studies. How do we educate better to help human beings better understand nutrition, and what are the kind of modalities or production modalities to get us to think about those things? And so that's one of many things we do, but we'll talk more about the outcomes when I go into the breakout rooms. But the key is there's this kind of this kind of confluence of these kind of media platforms with this confluence of education. And I end by saying this: we spend a lot of time not on the story, but the storytellers themselves, okay? That we argue that you and I are a medium. that a lot of these ideas flow through, and that we've got to understand that piece as we begin trying to figure out how to educate better using these technologies. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jeff. That was great. Okay, and our last program in this group is a joint program, is Audio Arts, which is a joint program with the School of Visual and Performing Arts and the Newhouse School. And so that also has two co-directors, Bill Wordy, who is a member of the Newhouse School faculty, and Todd Harriman, who's a member of the VPA faculty. And Todd will talk now, but both he and Bill will be in the breakout room. So Todd, it's yours.
Hi, thank you, Joel. Welcome, everybody. As Joel had mentioned, yes, it's a joint program between the Setner School of Music in the College of Visual and Performing Arts and Newhouse. And I just want to give you an overview of the degree program and how it unfolds. It's a 14-month, 36-credit-hour program, and it starts with the summer boot camp, typically starting in the beginning of July, which is 7 credit hours, 3 classes. And then in the fall and spring, we average 13 credit hours per semester, and including a capstone in your spring semester, and closing the program with an experiential or internship out in the field. One of the unique things about the degree is that it's highly elective driven, like Michael Schoonmaker had mentioned regarding TRF, very much the same thing here. And the benefit to that is, well, we have students coming in that have really diverse interests in how they want to use this degree to pursue their goals. And being very highly elective driven, you can create your own concentration. And it's really been interesting the last couple of years to see how people utilize that flexibility. And I liken this to, the wide possibility here. One can be very, very specific, narrowly tailored. Like, I want to take every production company I can fit into this program. I want to be a recording engineer. I want to be a producer. I want to do sound for picture, and take every possible course you can along those lines. So it's very, very narrowly tailored. And then we have on the other extreme is, I call it the buffet. You want to take a little bit of everything and get this really, really broad experience. And so again, the flexibility of the program allows you to do that. There are some required courses such as telecom law, and a course in the fall that focuses on entrepreneurial thinking. But then again, for the fall and spring semester, you have at least 2 3-credit hour, or some of them are 1 credit hour modules put together as electives. Let me see, there's, one of the things, another strength of the program, I'm just looking at my notes here, that we do have these colloquiums starting with boot camp, and then fall and spring, their guest lecture series that allow the students to be exposed to very high level industry professionals in a very broad spectrum of areas of the industry. And so it's an amazing, amazing networking opportunity for the student while they're in school here. And oftentimes that leads directly to internships and job offers. But also this does tap into the very expansive alumni base of Newhouse and VPA. It's an extraordinary network. And you're put front and center to be able to exploit that network. Some of the where are the placements? Where do our audio arts students end up? Well, because of people being able to craft their own concentration, they land in a lot of different areas. So we have 3 audio arts students now that got internships at, and then were hired after their internships at Remote Control, which is Hans Zimmer's film music complex in Santa Monica. You certainly all heard Hans Zimmer's work, one of the best known film composers working in the industry today. One of our students decided to start his own podcasting company, and he's successfully writing and producing podcasts right now. And if you've seen the major acquisitions from the likes of Spotify and a couple other companies and podcast companies, maybe podcasting is a pretty good place to be right now. One of our students ended up at an industry trade organization called American Association of Independent Music down in New York City. One of our students just launched his own production company called Capricious Productions, and it's going to be a combination of recording studio, live venue, and record label. We have, and there's a little bit of damper on this segment of the industry right now, but a lot of our students have gone into live sound, venue sound, and touring. So that's just a brief overview of where some of our students have landed. Joel, anything there that I missed?
I think you got it all, Todd. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Before we go into the breakouts, I just want to say a couple things. In my view, the strength of the Newhouse School and these programs and the joint programs, the two major strengths, we have a lot of strengths, but the two major strengths I think are, in my mind, it's the quality of the faculty and our alumni network. And you get a sense of the quality of the faculty because all these program directors also teach in our program. And I just think in every single one of our professional programs, we have people who have been at the top of their game when they were professionals and now want to give back a little bit in the classroom. And the second strength is the Newhouse network. We have over 6,000 alums who want to be in the network, asked to be in the network. And because, you know, some of our alums make millions and billions of dollars, not too many of them. Most of them make a good living, a living to support their family and have a nice life. But they don't have a lot of expendable income to give big contributions back to their alma mater. So what they do is they give back in time. They come back and they lecture, or they Zoom in, or they mentor. And I think there's no school around that has the alumni base that we have. And I think that's the two things, the two main things. The other thing that I wanted them to talk about, but maybe they can talk about more in breakout, is all of these programs are very technology heavy and very hands-on, skills-based. So you might ask, well, how did we do during COVID, right? Because our boot camp, for example, is 6 weeks of hands-on training. And we had to, because of the state rules, had to do that remotely. And so all of these program directors and all the faculty really scrambled to make it a really good experience. And they could talk about that. Knock on wood, we won't have to do that again. And we were very fortunate, I think, in this semester, is that we were one of the few schools out there who were really able to have in-person classes. And we had in-person classes almost to the end. We almost made it to the end. We fell a week short, but it was a pretty good experience, and it was great for the grad students, especially those because they had to do it remotely over the summer to be able to come in here and really get the hands-on experience. And we're hoping, obviously, that the spring will continue that way, and that again, knock on wood, we get that vaccine or 2 or 3 vaccines. I'll take all 3 if it will work, and then we'll be back to normal next summer. And be able to welcome some of you, I hope, to the Newhouse family. So right now we're going to go into breakout rooms. Any of the programs you're interested in, if you're interested in more than one, there's no harm or foul to start in one and then go to another. And Martha's going to kind of tell you what you need to do. And then the program directors will all be in there. And Martha and I will be here if you have any questions specifically for us.
Okay, I have just opened breakout rooms. I'm hopeful that most of you can see this icon now in the toolbar at the bottom. You are able to click on it and then select the room you'd like to join. So you can actually go ahead and do that. If for some reason you don't, we've found it to be a little hit and miss. You can just put in the chat the room you want to go to and I can move you myself. But then you do have the ability to come back to this main room if you have any general admissions questions or other questions.
And so program directors, you can try to put yourself in too. If not, Martha will put you in there.